Mmm. Pull at the string and see what you unravel. Listen to this. Mmm.
Puts like an open mic in a quad and allows anybody to come up and ask him a question, and then he goes back and forth and he debunks whatever question they have. This man, Charlie Kirk, I believe, is so instrumental in tapping into this Generation Z and saying, look, you don't have to believe what they're telling you. You just have to think critically. You just have to do a little bit of research. You just have to take one thing that strikes you as being a little peculiar and pull at that thread and see what you unravel. Now,
Yes.
that is the backdrop. There's a young TikToker we stumbled upon who explains why Trump's favorability surges by almost 20 points with young Americans according to this new poll. She's going to sit down and she's going to tell you exactly, look, as a mom of sons,
A genius she
there
is.
is a young woman like this for my children in the future, because whether or not you're conservative, she's a critical thinker. She's not swayed by the narrative, and she started doing her own research. We have 5 audio sound bites from this young lady. And in the first one, she says, you know what? This whole nonsense of indoctrination, it happens in college. It's not like I'm telling you anything you don't know. And then she drops that beautiful line about taking responsibility for your own information and knowledge. Listen.
I, too, was quite liberal during my college years, as we all are. I mean, American institutions are essentially left-wing indoctrination camps, and we know this to be true. You go in, you are inundated with left-wing orthodoxy, and you exit much more liberal than before. We all know this to be true. But then I started thinking, I started noticing many inconsistencies. Why does the media say that he hates the middle class when he established the largest middle class tax cuts in history, when the median middle class income was up $5,000? Why do they say he hates gay people when he wanted to decriminalize homosexuality worldwide? He has gay weddings all the time at Mar-a-Lago, and he was the only president in U.S. history to enter office having a pro-gay marriage position. Not the Bidens, not Obamas, not Clintons, no, Trump. Why do they claim he's some kind of racist when those claims had never been made before he ran for president? And then he's only ever accomplished wonderful things for minorities. Lowest ever poverty rates for Asian Americans, Black Americans, Latino Americans, and women. Highest ever employment rates for women, Latino Americans, Black Americans, Asian Americans.
I know, right? You're thinking to yourself, holy mackerel, somebody's paying attention. And she's a young, cute, blonde, conservative girl. I love this.
Genius, I
She's
said.
not even close.
Absolute genius.
She says, you know what? Hollywood's about face is certainly off. Plus the left censorship of Trump and the lawfare against him. It's all
The
so
dark side.
obvious. It's all about thinking critically. Go.
Why do the same celebrities who used to fawn over him, love him, adore him, suddenly think that he's the Antichrist? I'm talking to Oprah, Ellen, Joy Behar, Whoopi Goldberg, Ika from MSNBC. They all loved him. And
Traitorous.
they're instructed that he's literally Satan. I'm thinking, if censorship is used to control people and control the narrative, why did they ban the president from Twitter for 2 years, from Instagram for 2 years, from YouTube for 2 years, from Twitter for 2 years?
The force is strong with this one.
Then censor and shadow ban conservative accounts. I'm thinking, why did Twitter censor the 100 black
shadow ban, dark
Why did
one.
legacy media nearly uniformly post negatively about him for 8 consecutive years? So things are shady, and then they use lawfare against him. Lawfare is legal warfare. It's
very
an
shady.
legal assassination. They weaponize the Department of Justice against the citizens of the United
dark
States.
side
It's
of
never
that.
been done before in United States history. They drummed up a bunch of BS charges from some simple paperwork misfiling.
BS.
And they turned it into 34 felonies, and they couldn't even go after him because the statute of limitations had run out. So a bunch of lawyers in New York who literally hate him changed
Losers.
the law so that they could prosecute him through a legal loophole. Most insane story ever.
Most insane story ever. That's now
insane,
all over
definitely.
TikTok. Videos like this young woman are apparently popping up all over the place. On Instagram and on Snap and on TikTok,
because she's a genius.
which are primarily
Yes.
used by, oh, that's right, the youngest voters, and might I underscore one more time,
Preach it.
57% of Americans between the ages of 18 and 29 now have a favorable view of Donald Trump. And this young lady is not done. She says, pay attention, of course, because the two tiers of justice
Wake
are
up.
so clear. Go.
Meanwhile, they let the Clintons and Bidens off scot-free for genuine criminal behavior. So everything thus far is a lie, and then you listen to his press conferences for 30 minutes, the full 30 minutes, the full hour, and then you go on MSNBC, CNN, New York Times, and somehow they've spun his words around into the polar opposite of what he said. It's like I just saw him deliver a wonderful speech, and now the New York Times is tweeting that he said something horribly discriminatory? What? I mean, a good example of this is the Very Fine People hoax. He explicitly condemned hate groups, explicitly condemned them, and then all the headlines were, Trump condones these terrorist organizations. What? That is the polar opposite of what he did.
Are you getting the vibe of this new hope? Are you getting the vibe of the exhaustion with the activism? Are you getting the feeling that the young
yes,
people
a
who
new
go
hope.
through the
Yes.
system, who are expected to graduate not with a cap and gown,
I told you there
but
was
with
another.
their clone trooper
Yes.
uniform on and intact and ready to go, aren't getting dressed in it. And she goes,
Didn't fall for the clone
and
deception.
once you start pulling the thread a little bit,
Pull
you
it.
begin to realize that the tapestry of their deceit.
Pull that thread. Pull it.
And then you wonder how they can say he's money hungry and selfish when he refused a salary wall. Meanwhile, his career politician counterparts are getting richer and richer and richer and richer by the hundreds of millions of dollars. And then they say all women
Take their money. He did not.
there's an abortion ban. Meanwhile, his policy is very clear that he would never enact one. He would veto one if one was enacted. He's always supported with 3 exceptions. And then
Preach it,
we're
kid.
running into thinking that people are being prosecuted for having miscarriages. Not one woman in the United States has ever been prosecuted for having a miscarriage, and that story about the Ohioan woman was a complete and utter hoax. She was prosecuted for charges completely unrelated to abortion. And then you keep digging and you wonder why the New York Times posted photos of children in cages saying that that was Trump's doing. Meanwhile, those
That was
photos
Obama's.
were to be taken in 2014 under Obama. And then you wonder why
Told you I
Newsweek
did.
falsely reported that Trump was in Florida golfing during Thanksgiving when he was literally in Afghanistan serving dinner to troops.
This young lady
Yeah, they do
has
something and then
her
tell
ring
to blame on somebody else.
Your Ovaltine,
Such
and
lies.
she's been lying to you, and she finishes with this.
She's a
barn
genius.
burner. And then I realized this about conservatives.
So they say he hates every single demographic, even though he's helped literally every demographic. They say he's a woman hater. They compare him to an evil, murderous dictator. They censor him on every platform. They lie about his policies. They try to falsely imprison him, and then they try to kill him in Butler, Pennsylvania.
Succeed, they did not.
You help but wonder, why is all
Make him
of the
stronger, they
policy
did.
backed by the mainstream media, academia, every celebrity, Hollywood, legacy media, social media, every American institution? Why are we being fed this narrative over and over and over and over when it directly
To brainwash you, that's why.
every turn? And then I realized conservatives are the resistance. Conservatives are resisting
Yes,
against the
the
big
conservatives
government machine.
are the
I mean,
rebels.
when you choose the narrative,
The
pieces
victorious.
start coming together. It feels like you've been in the Truman Show. The damn Truman Show. Everything's a false reality. The reality comes down and you see things for what it is. And then you realize this is how deep the corruption goes. That is just the tip of the iceberg. People are raging against the big government dissent-free uniparty machine. It's a movement.
Yes. Preach it, girl. She's a genius.
Look, guys,
Yes.
there's a reason today.
The force is strong with her.
It's called A New Hope.
A new hope.
Our
Yes.
kids, we raised them well. Right? We
Yeah.
taught them well. We told them to be
Yes.
respectful, but to think critically. We told them to get along with other people, but to not always go along with what other people say.
Preach
We
it.
told them that they represent us when they're not with us. And they are. They do. They will.
Yes.
And they can.
Yeah.
It's like my son on the soccer pitch over the weekend. Coming out with fire. Playing to not lose, but playing to win. Fighting,
Win.
Racing.
Win. Fight, fight, fight.
These are very exciting times.
Yes.
Now we have a long way to go. I grant you that. But you deserve to give yourself a feeling of enthusiasm and hope. Because it's been dark for a while.
The dark side will lose.
Slugged through that long enough. I'm ready for a crack of the door and the light coming in, my friend.
The force shall
Thank you
prevail.
to that young TikToker. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hopefully she lives near Tampa.
I hope so. Yes.
Where my son lives. Okay, anyway, when we come back on the Wendy Bell radio program, did you guys hear about
Thank you, Wendy Bell.
the conservatives in liberal cities and states who are done going along and getting along? They want a divorce. They want to break up. They want to secede.
Yes.
What? In California? Next.
Subscribe.
Yes, subscribe. I hope you guys all enjoyed that from the Wendy Bell Show. And I did the little Yoda voices in the background. And I hope to all the people out there that hate Trump, I think you need to reevaluate because you've been lied to. And I hope you take the time to listen to this and open up your ears and you open up your eyes because everything that young lady said, it's all accurate and it can be proven and looked up. The bad guys, we're going to call them, the dark side, as Yoda would say, they twist everything. They invert it all. And people are waking up, especially the young people are waking up. And they have realized that they have been lied to. Well, God bless America. And I love you all. And please, like Barnchu said, subscribe. Till next time, peace. And I have lots more fun stuff coming. Check out all my created playlists and all my shorts. Love you all. Peace out.
Yes. The force is with you. Subscribe.
USA, USA, fight, fight, win, win. Yay! Hello. There's one, set for stun. Yes, I met C-3PO in costume and out of costume. And R2-D2. I've met him several times. Okay, it's over this time. I just did all that for just fun. Love y'all. Peace.